like to call the meeting to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Frierson.
Here.
Trustee Fisher.
Here.
Trustee Holmes.
Here.
Trustee McDowell. Chairman Neal.
Here. Can we please begin with the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Bremner, would you like to lead us?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Are there any changes to the agenda this evening? Hearing none, is there a motion to accept the agenda as proposed?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Frierson.
Aye.
Trustee Fisher.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Trustee McDowell. Chairman Neal.
Aye. Excellent. Okay, so item 5, approval of the minutes of the special meeting held on August 17th, 2020 at 5 o'clock p.m. Approved but not released for closed session minutes of a meeting held on August 17th, 2020 at 5:02 p.m. And then the regular meeting held on August 18th, 2020 at 6 o'clock p.m. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Frierson.
Aye.
Trustee Fisher.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Trustee McDowell. Chairman Neal.
Aye. Thank you very much. So item 6 is special presentations for the Zinnias for Zion Award. I didn't want to pull it off the agenda because I think it's important to just hold the space for it, but we had everybody except for Ray Merkelbrad and Culver's able to come to our little get-together last Saturday to accept their awards. But I just want to give a shout-out. So we had the top winners were in first place was the 2716 Bethel Boulevard, Baltazar Abelius. If you get a chance to drive by their house, it is absolutely amazing. They even planted zinnias in the crack of the sidewalk between the two sidewalks going down. We also had we had Culver's. Ginny Adams was recognized, one for her house, and second, she did the welcome sign on the north side of Lewis Avenue. So for those, and then next we recognized Gail Julian. She lives in Wadsworth. She is a past president of the Illinois Dunes and Garden Club, and she adopted Zion City Hall, so she's responsible for all the zinnias here. She adopted Fire Station 1, so everything there, and Fire Station 2. And so she individually, April Myers was her assistant and helped her sometimes, but just she really stepped up to help with the cities. And Ginny Adams did the zinnias for the police department, but those didn't fare as well as the fire departments did. So we recognized her. And then Ray Merkelbrad, who lives, her property is at 29th in Lewis. Anybody that drives by there, you see the long lines of zinnias. And then we gave honorable mention to Zion Park District's Herman Center, Ahmadiyya Muslim community, for their property. If you see their property too, it's amazing. And then they also adapted the clock tower. And then Zion Benton Public Library, Mary Lou Hiltzbrand, and Zion Asda were the others. But we had so many people that are involved in this. One of our own, Kathy Champagne, she adopts one of the Welcome to Zion signs. And Laura Murray has been on her knees planting zinnias every year at Lou's side. And so just as we close out another year, I just want to say thank you for all of the partnerships and everybody that was involved. We had an incredible festival on Saturday to recognize everybody, and we'll share a little bit more. We had some of the trustees show up for that, but just to say that. So Culver's, we have a plaque actually to share. And Ginny Adams was actually the photographer, or not photographer, that was her welcome sign that we actually took pictures of. So we have a plaque for each, I'll hold it up for the camera, for each of the top 6 winners. And then Ace Hardware this year was a partner, the Illinois Twins and Garden Club. They did not do any prizes this year. They pretty much, because they're not doing anything this year. So Ace Hardware, April Myers, and Anton's Greenhouse all contributed prizes this year. So really grateful for that. And so, yeah, so with that said, we'll continue on. Are there any citizens' comments this evening? Ms. Champagne, please.
Yeah, you have your new updated website.
Yes, we do.
It looks nice, but it needs improving.
Yep, please share. Do you have a list of things that you would like to see, or would you mind sharing that with me later?
I'll check it out again, but I was looking for the agenda and it just kept looping me back to the same page.
Okay, that was
So
supposed to go
I'll
up
check it
yesterday.
out and send you a list.
That's perfect. That would be great. I would appreciate having an extra set of eyes on that, because anytime you make significant changes like that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, so moving on. Hang on 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so item number 8, authorized bills for payment. Trustee Fisher.
Okay. I met with Chairman Neal this afternoon. We went over the financials. One note on the public agenda as posted, the amounts under General Assistance Fund for public support, it should be corrected from $5,126.11 to $26,085.52, and the operating expenses should be corrected from $35,656.17 to $14,696.76. It does not change the overall total, which is $96,325.94. So I would make a motion to approve bills in the amount of $96,325.94.
How much?
$96,325.94.
Do you have an old agenda?
You might have an agenda that before the correction was put in.
Right, they're at 96 what thousand?
Hold up. Oh my gosh.
One more time, please.
Hang on. Take it from the finances.
Should not have changed.
Just so everybody's aware, we have had a couple of different things that are going on. Our accounting firm that we've hired, they are in the middle of training somebody else, and they've had a lot of different people off, so there's a lot of things going on, and they're struggling. I have a meeting set up with the managing partner this week, and then as well with getting this grant in. And some IMRF issues. Those were the two big things that, because we had sent in the other, these were updated financials that we just sent in. So the reason that this could be misrepresented could be that. But you totaled them. So this is the correct number. Because you did that. We were on
went through and totaled.
we were on the phone for half an hour doing those totals.
So what's listed here does add up to $96,314.92, but that wasn't the total that you stated.
Nope, it's not.
Can you restate your total?
No. Well, on this one, it's $96,325.94. But if yours totals up, this is so frustrating. So then the other thing,
I'll check it one more time.
the other policy that we're putting in place is moving forward when Cheryl puts out the agenda. Before anybody sees it, she's to send it to Sandra, my business manager, so that she can confirm all of the numbers and make sure. Cheryl's been pulling the numbers off of the financials and then just sending them out. And we need to have, obviously, because I think this is like the third time where the numbers were not correct. And so we've had both of those situations that we just need to correct once and for all. So it's my hope that meeting with the accounting firm and having Cheryl send those over to Sandra for Sandra to put another set of eyes on it before anybody gets it. And then Chris also asked that the accounting firm share with us an Excel spreadsheet as well.
Right.
So that we can.
It still adds up to $96,325.94.
But you said it doesn't.
So our township fund total expenses is still $49,084.96.
Correct?
And general assistance total expenses is $40,782.28.
Correct.
So,
IMRF totals.
I will re-add, but
Nope, it's the IMRF totals. Just check this and double check the IMRF totals.
Yeah, those
And that
are,
was
the
the second.
IMRF totals are correct.
IMRF
Yeah.
totals.
They haven't changed.
What's the IMRF total for this month, Chris?
$3,589.35.
589, 35, 7. Don't do that. This is the amount. And that was why we changed the, so you had the agenda that on that. Okay,
okay, so IMR wasn't updated on this.
correct. So when Sandra went back to the accountant, because the IMRF numbers were not correct, so they corrected the financials. And so the IMRF total is $3,589.35.
Right.
Okay. And so the actual total is the correct $96,325.94.
94 cents. Correct.
Okay, all right, and so it is going to be my goal that this is the last time we have any financial discrepancies at all moving forward with those two situations. And so,
There's a motion.
yeah, there's a motion to accept the bills as finally presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jackie. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fisher?
Aye.
I'm sorry, trustee Frierson?
Abstain.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell? Chairman Neal?
Aye. Okay. Next item on the agenda is consider staff vacation alternative. So I mentioned to everybody at the last meeting, we have a situation where my team is not going to be able to use up all their vacation this year, and we have a policy that use it or lose it. And there's no physical way, especially because if my team takes off the vacation that they still have, it's going to kill them when they come back because the weight of the work is so heavy right now with people calling that are needing assistance. Now they're taking it, right? They're trying to take like, 1 or 2 days, each week to be able to use up some of that, but there's not going to be an opportunity for them to use it all up. They came to me and asked if they could roll it over, and my response was absolutely not, because I don't want to have this situation next year with them taking off even more time. I think it would hurt us even more, and so the next best that I thought, especially to just recognize how hard that my team is working during all of this, the COVID-19, and going for the grant and working with the other organizations, that if they were able to cash out their vacation time for full rate, that would be just a huge blessing to them and a huge blessing to our community, because every day that somebody's off, it's somebody that we're not able to reach out to and get that work done. So that is my ask for my team.
Were you putting a cap on the payout and what they could say?
I wasn't. My intention, so every one of them wants to use their vacation. I mean, hands down, they want to be able to use their vacation. So it's not their intention to like hold out so that they can get money out of it.
No, I understand. My thought was more to incentivize that they do try and rotate and take some days off between now and the end of the year, understanding that they won't be able to use the full I don't know what the balances are right now. If you
Yeah.
can speak to that.
So Grace currently has 20.5 hours. Adriana has 72 hours. And Sandra currently has 68 hours left. And so, and as far as Sandra knew, everybody in the assessor's office, that wouldn't actually, you know, we weren't thinking that would apply, but she thinks that they've all used up their vacation time, that they actually were able to use it up while they were, you know, out of the office.
So on some of my travels, it's been standard to hold over like a week that you could roll. So instead of rolling, you can pay out the week and try and ensure that they use the rest. But just a thought.
So if we were to do 1 week, that would be 40 hours. That would be 40. So that would be a week that Adriana would try and take off. And Adriana is really the one that's got the most. She's got the longest tenure with the office, so she has the most vacation. And she's really the one that, if she uses her time, the number of balls that she's juggling right now, it causes her so much stress to be on. You know, that when she comes back, it's very frustrating. And so, and I mean, just to say, and I was sharing with Grace today that I think our office is really, really unique in that they hold themselves to the highest standard, and that I don't think that they would, any of them, take advantage of it. That they really want to be able to use vacation and try and stay as balanced as possible and not overworked. And at the same time, the stress of feeling like they have to use that, I think, is causing them even more stress. So, and I do want this to be just a one-time thing. I fully intend. I think it's really important, especially with the work that we do, that they take time off dispersed throughout the year, and we try to do that. And this year was unlike any other. And so, yeah. No, I mean,
I think that's
would,
just for discussion, isn't it? There's no action. Right.
Does there need to be any action, or?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Okay, all right, good. So, I really wanted to have your guys' input and make sure that we're being as transparent as possible with everybody, so.
Yeah, I think that, we had the discussion this afternoon. I think we should encourage everybody to use as much time before the end of the year as possible, and then see, you know, if we need to pay out at the end of the year.
Well, what we do for any sick time that isn't used, they can either put it into their short-term disability hold, or it can get paid out at half the cost. And so that check usually comes out the payday before Christmas. And so I would recommend that anything that isn't used, that we include that this year for them. So, thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is Assessors Report. Did anybody get a report from the assessor? I did get a notice saying that his email would no longer be available after today. We have Colette Davis that's going to be starting tomorrow. She's going to be training under assessor work wickets until the 23rd, and then he will be gone. And so I guess he already set up her email account and said, if you have any questions, email Colette Davis. And so he's rolling with it. All right. Okay, so then Supervisors Report. Pull this up. Just to remind everybody, Zion Township, we are open. Our regular office hours, 8:30 to 4:30. We've turned our front foyer into our lobby, and it's working out really well to be able to assist residents that way. And so I've got in here that Colette Davis is going to be starting tomorrow, and then new website, which Kathy shared. We're really proud of it, but there are some tweaks that need to be made, so I really appreciate having another set of eyes on it. This last week we sent out a letter to all of the landlords that we have addresses for. We came up with a pretty substantial list in our office, and in partnership with Brian from Power Line Innovations to be able to notify the landlords. And my team shared that we have a lot of referrals coming in from landlords for tenants, so that's really good. And then we are starting to work on the ELF network. We will most definitely not be doing the dinner this year, but we are still looking to support 50 families. So if you know of a family that could use some support for the holidays, please either share their name with us, or we have an application at the office that they can fill out to be able to get that. That's all of that. And then this is, so just as a snapshot, we had 81 families reach out for assistance this month. 56 screenings were completed with residents referred to the appropriate programs. That is Grace Gamboa, who is serving as our township clerk, fill in tonight. She is our administrative assistant, and she does that work. We submitted 12 complete CHIRP applications, which is the funding for COVID, with 10 more in process with the grant we received from Lake County. We've given out 15 additional applications and are waiting for their returns. We've also established strategic partnerships with Community Action Partnership, Mother's Trust Foundation, and Community Partners for Affordable Housing to streamline funding sources to support residents who have been impacted by COVID-19. Other services provided to residents included disaster relief program approving 3 applications. 8 applications were submitted to Mother's Trust Foundation, and 13 benefit access applications were processed. And it's a little bit complicated, frustrating to do these CHIRP applications because there's a number of things that individuals have to bring back before we can submit the whole packet, and individuals are sending them in one at a time. And so we've got they've got this list of emails, and you click on it, and you don't know if it's the last thing, the first thing. So it's definitely a little bit complicated. It's especially overwhelming because the service point data entry that we're mandated to do is really complex. It's a lot, and I'm really proud of Sandra Usher, our business manager, who came to me and asked if she could actually take on doing all the data entry. And this is what I'm talking about. It's so rare to have an employee come and say, "Hey, can I have more work?" But my team does that over and over again. And so after I looked at what was on her plate, because we were actually looking at bringing in somebody part-time, she thought she could do it, and we agreed, and she's doing a really good job with it. So I'm really proud of that.
It's nice to hear when people go above and beyond. That's
Right?
nice.
And everything they do. And so that's working out really well. And then so this was everything that we did on Saturday. We the Zion Queens, because they ended up carrying their crown over from last year to this year, they didn't have an opportunity to do a recrowning ceremony, so they did that over at Zion Township on Saturday. So we have Miss Zion Jewel Woodard, Teen Miss Danielle McDonald, Junior Miss Avery Shogren, and Little Miss Rachel Harvey. We had the official signing of the Zion Township mural by Elena Lopez, so she's got her signature on there. We recognize Karen Whiteside for her efforts to bring the Your Beautiful project to Zion, and Sherry Gregg for allowing for the motivational message board on Sheridan Road at Chapel Boulevard. She's had that up for forever. She didn't have letters, so she let us purchase letters just having something up there. And then as well the Zinnia winners, and then the coloring contest winners. The grand champion for the coloring contest was Camilla Aula, age 13. And then we also recognized 3 area neighborhoods for the Zion Together Love Thy Neighborhood. And we hosted our very first Art Beat of Zion chalk contest. It was chaired by Jesselyn Romero, who is a junior at New Tech High School. And we had judges. Judge the contest were Judge Reggie Matthews, Colette Davis, Trustee Richard Frierson, and Kim Kenobi. Her husband is the unofficial co-chair of Zinnias for Zion. It was just a really, really nice time had by all, and to have an opportunity to celebrate something this summer was really refreshing. So I think that's all we have. And just to say that Lou is now in the house too, and recognizing her. I mentioned the names for the winners of the Zinnias for Zion earlier. Thank you, Lou, for your efforts for Zinnias for Zion. That's really appreciated. And then one last thing, with going around and doing the judging for Zinnias for Zion, we noticed how many households. It actually all started with the one house, and everybody knows the one house next to BP on 21st Street in Lewis, that it used to be run down and look horrible, and it is so beautiful. Somebody bought it, and they have done an amazing job. And so we started just jotting down, not just for the Zinnias for Zion, but for residents who have really taken a stand up with decorating their yard. And we, Sandra, our business manager, she made cards that say Zion appreciates you. And it says, thank you for gifting our community with such a beautiful yard. Know how much your efforts matter. Thank you, Cheri, the Zion Township team, and your neighbors. And so we sent those out to those residents, and we actually translated them as well, thanks to Grace, so that because we realized that people would get them that couldn't read English, and so we have English and then in Spanish underneath it. And then we also created cards that say Zion Township appreciates you. We love being on the same team, doing all we can to make Zion better. So just recognizing that, the more we appreciate what people are doing, hopefully the more it'll continue to grow. And that's kind of our goal, is to try and make Zion, better every day. So,
In that same vein, has there been any or much reaction to the "You Are Beautiful" signs?
I've had a few people that mentioned them. Yeah, they were like, "What is that? What is that?" So yeah, yes, Miss Lou.
I was just going to say, I was out there 4 hours on Lewis Avenue with that accident today, and right there on both ends of that fence, they were up there, and I noticed them.
Yeah, very cool. So that was neat. So they're not as noticeable because they're smaller, so that was kind of the whole point. And so it kind of mutes it a lot, but I'm hoping, it's my prayer, that we end up having our district ordinances that we can do those things, so we shall see. So that's all I have. Is there anything else to come before the board? Is there a motion to adjourn? Oh, wait, I do have one thing. Sorry about that. So from the last meeting to this meeting, we have lost 2 significant people in this community. One being Ms. Sadie Morris-Watts, who opened the first food pantry in Zion. Actually, she had breast cancer, and she was in Mayo Clinic. And she told God, if you save me from this, I will go home and I will feed people. And that was how she started the food pantry in our community, and she did it for forever out of her own need to. And she passed away. She was almost 103. October 26th, she would have been 103 years old. And then sometime last night, this morning, Ruby Faye Smith passed away. Zion's very own yodeler. She was one of a kind. She turned 96 yesterday. And so she always took advantage. So when she made it past the birthday, so she would today have been claiming that she was now almost 97 because yesterday was her birthday. But she passed, and I just want to thank everybody. We had and Lou and Laura were there, and we had a birthday parade for her yesterday, and it was really significant. There were a lot of cars that showed up, and it was just a really nice celebration for her life. So she is the Red Hat, the Queen Bees of Zion. Red Hat Society is never, ever going to be the same. Just to share that with everybody. So I know at Zion Township we are really going to miss her. And so with that, now is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Motion by Jackie, second by Richard. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Frierson,
Aye.
Trustee Fisher,
Aye.
Trustee Holmes,
Aye.
Trustee McDowell, Chairman Neal.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Grace.
Yes. That was huge for her to fill in.
I know, I heard her say, I have to do what?